Good morning, welcome to Natasha Makes. It is our Lisa Chandler, fabulous Japanese Baltimore this morning. Here it is. You can't quite see the bottom ones, can you? We're going to have to hoik it up a bit so you can get to see them, but it is very stunning. We have done so far the parasols, which are down the bottom, and I have to say, I don't know whether to wait until we know that she's watching before I thank her very much, because I did part of it and then I sent the rest off to that there Elizabeth Crangle, who finished it. Look at that.
That looks very pretty.
Very beautiful, isn't it? Really beautiful. And she's done such a stunning job on getting these parasols really 3D. I'm going to go overhead so you can see. Because look, like they really are. You can properly get your hand underneath and have a good poke around and a good look around. So she's just done such a lovely job on that. So thank you, Elizabeth, for coming to the rescue with that. With my house move and everything else, there was not time to finish it. So I am incredibly grateful to you for that. Thank you. Isn't that gorgeous? Absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to pop that down there for now. Really stunning. She's like, it's got beautiful lift. Don't press it. We won't. We'll just press the black bits around the side. We have got lots of gorgeous goodies for you today, and gadgets and gizmos and sparkly stuff. Gemma is about to take her daughter for a driving exam. So she's not here today. We have SJ though. Good morning, SJ.
Morning, everybody.
How are you?
Very good. Very tired, but we're here.
Tired because
another wedding.
Another wedding
and a weekend filled with family plans.
Perfect. So we've got SJ here. Jane is in the building. Inga's here, fulfilling all your orders, getting everything ready. Now, do you want to look at sparkly stuff, books, or actually let's say good morning to everyone, shall we?
Yeah.
Should we do that thing of where I stand here and go, I don't know where we are. Can't actually find us. Where are we? How do I find this now? How do I do it?
Because of the way that we now set it up, we should be towards the top every time.
Thank you. And this has been the problem. Like, it's my show, and if I can't even find myself, like, we know that you are having difficulties too. So SJ, bless her, has looked into this and gone, well, that's not okay, is it? No, it is not. Turn off my captions. Morning, Kirsty. No team making today. No team meeting rather today. So I get to watch. Yay! Elizabeth, you are a superstar. She is watching. Good morning, Elizabeth. Morning, Sylv. She's lovely to see all you gorgeous peeps. Sylv, your name has been on our lips a little of late. That would be fair to say, wouldn't it, SJ?
Yeah.
Sylv Sparkly has been mentioned due to quite a lot of incoming sparkliness. We think that you might approve of. Morning, Joe. You see, Joe, now you've changed your surname because, you know, you went and got married as well. It's very confusing for me. It's very confusing, but I have worked it out. Good morning, Meg PT. Meg, are you not like getting ready for driving or something? Best of luck with that. Morning, Ginny. Yes, so if we just say sparkly, I've got some serious sparkles on the show for you. And also, did you see our sparkly bundles? So because it's Natasha Makes, and I do like to do card crafting and jewellery making and stuff a bit on the side, we're making, have we made it yet? A little crafty corner.
Yeah. It's up on the website.
So what did we call it in the end?
We called it the craft corner.
We did call it the craft corner. So now on the website, you'll notice anybody who also dips their toe into other kind of makey things, there is now craft corner on the website, and in there you will find phenomenal deals. Like, I have gone all out to source the most incredible things at the most incredible prices. So yes, do take a little look. Some of them will cross over. I'm finding ways to use them and bring them into what we do here, as well as just having incredible deals for you, and you'll get them here first and then they'll go to Create and Craft after that. Morning, Jane. Morning, Karen. Oh, she says morning one and all from a sunny Wigan. Actually, Karen, this morning might be a show for you with your jewellery making. You never know. Morning, Danny. Morning, Joy. Morning, Margaret. Happy Monday. Sorry, won't be able to stop. Catch up later. That's all right. We'll catch you later. Morning, Ginny. Oh, Ginny. You see, Ginny moved. We got used to where Ginny lived.
Yeah.
And then she moved. But near St Andrews. So still near the Gulf. Morning, Carol. Morning, Pam. Morning, Claire. How was the trip? We need to know. Oh, okay. Morning, Debbie, as well. So morning, Yvonne. My trip. SJ, did I tell you all about my trip?
I heard bits,
Yeah.
but not the full story.
So you guys know it was quite emotional for me, because I had to, with the divorce and everything, the one thing that I couldn't do was provide a home that I felt was suitable for an otter hound. So gorgeous Maud, I went back to the breeder and spoke with the breeder long and hard, and we managed to find, because they're not an easy hound to replace, they're quite specialist. So we found a lovely lady in Belgium who had her aunt, had her grandmother, knew the breed, but knew her lineage as well. And Caro is just the most incredible lady, and so she was like, yeah, she was happy to have Maud for me. So Wednesday night, finished doing everything Maud had. She went to Darla Dog Wash, came, gave her her, you know, so she was going, looking her very fabulous best, and she had to have a vet appointment to check that she was safe to travel and all that, healthy to travel. So did all that in the day, and then drove in the evening, drove down to Dover. Should be fine. Hotel booked, all good. Yeah, get to the hotel. I'd put in a search, 2 people and a dog. First hotel that came up that I went into, they accept dogs, fully booked. So I went back, searched again, but the booking place that website that I used dropped the dog.
No, it changed the
So we
filters when
arrived.
went back.
Yeah. So we arrived at 10 o'clock, 10:30 at night. They won't accept the dog. They won't let Maud in the hotel. They're like, oh, she has to sleep in the car. I'm like, no, this is my last night with my dog. She's not sleeping in a car. Like, I would never leave a dog in a car overnight anyway.
No, I can't believe they even suggested
Is that, oh, that's what people do. I'm like, who are these people? Who are these? No one I know would leave their dog in the car. So that wasn't an option. So 10:30 at night, and I'm trying to find another. Bearing in mind, like, what's been happening at Dover, how busy everywhere is, how booked up everywhere is. I finally managed to find somewhere and get there, and we get to bed at midnight, to be up again at 4, to be on the ferry, and we were in France by 8. Went to Dunkirk, had breakfast at Dunkirk, because I'd always wanted to see the beaches at Dunkirk. So Maud had a lovely walk on the beach, and then we drove through France and then across and all the way through Belgium to the other side, to the border, because this lady lived right on the border. So it was a bit of an epic day. And then, yeah, watched as Maud got to know all the dogs.
Though. One last story to tell with Maud.
Yeah. And she just, it was like she'd always been there. And she's got 4 other dogs, so Maud's part of a pack. And another one is an otter hound as well.
Yeah, Natasha
So
did send us some photos, didn't you? And
she
looked
so
very happy from the get-go.
Very happy.
Yeah.
Lovely walks and everything around there. So it was the best possible outcome from something that was really awful, because I'm normally the rescuer, not the rehomer. So and then stayed in Antwerp that night. Antwerp's lovely.
So I know a lot of people who've been to Antwerp. I've never heard of it before, and only in the last 4 years have I heard of so many people going.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I've
really
heard
beautiful,
some really lovely things.
And because I was going to go have a quick potter around the Rubens Museum before I had to get to the ferry home.
Yeah.
But actually, went to the cathedral. You needn't bother. All the Rubens are in there. All the big ones, all the big triptychs and stuff. They're all in the cathedral.
So just take a trip.
Just take a trip to the cathedral. It's lovely. So we got there and back, and then got back very late Friday night, and then very early Saturday morning drove down to Cornwall, and then came back last night from Cornwall, having followed the moving van with all my stuff in. Well, most of my stuff. It's been a bit busy, so yeah, touching base this morning at 4 o'clock to get in to. So if I'm a little bit all over the place, it's because I have indeed been all over the place. And then to top it off, sorry guys, you got the whole story, blame Claire, she asked. And then to top it off, my grandpa, my lovely in-laws, were meant to have the children so that this could all happen nice and easily. And you know when Emily did the show on Tuesday, and she went, I've got a spot on my tummy, mummy. No, what she actually meant was, I've got chicken pox, and no one is going to want to come near me for the next week. So yeah, that's also been all the fun in all the world. Bless her. So there we go. Morning, morning Nikki, morning Elaine, and Rebecca, morning ladies, back from my camping hollybobs. I can look at pretty fabrics again, yay! We've got beautiful ones for you. Right. So that was my very long story, and now we can crack on with the show. So today, we are going to do the twin butterfly block. It's just called butterflies. I like to call it the twin butterfly block. And so you got your antennas there, and your bodies there, and your wings and everything. Because it echoes, I want to call these cranes. I can never remember if they are cranes. They are cranes, not herons, aren't they?
Yes, I think.
Cranes.
Yeah.
Yes. So they echo and they provide that balance. So we've got, obviously, all of your fabrics for these. Let's have a quick look at these, and I know some of you are already starting grabbing them, so you will of course get full fat quarters because I won't have chopped into them. This is my one that I have been prepping beautifully. There we go. So you've got lots and lots of fat quarters in this today. The other thing to mention is that should you wish to stock up or get any of the Oriental Baltimore blocks, we have cut the rest of the fabric that we had for those kits. What we have is what we have, and we've put them on a special offer for you with 10% off. If, say, there was a block that you really loved and you want to make a matching cushion or a matching bag or anything like that, or you just want to do it again, then they are there on the website. The fabric packs are there for you. Or if you just, if you just want to start, they're all there for you. So do take a look and grab those. Now, I'm going to show you techniques today for the antenna. There are two techniques that I want to show you, and Sylv, this is where it gets sparkly. Because I came across some of this stuff. What is it? You may well ask. Well, I thought that these would make rather lovely antenna because you fill them with sparkly stuff. Now, we've put these on a massive discount, so you will get meters and meters of this stuff. I think it's like 2.5 meters of the mesh in 2 different sizes. You also get 10 meters of tiger tail. You're getting, what's that, 185 grams of beads around there or thereabouts, isn't it?
Yeah, so very
it is
full
a
kit.
massive bundle, and then clasps as well, because if you want to, and I was going to wear this but it hasn't finished drying because you glue the edges, and I'm just very, very scared to actually put it on when the glue is still drying, because they recommend Gorilla Super Glue, which obviously I didn't have this morning, which would have meant that it would have been done by now, but no. So you can also make beautiful, beautiful bracelets. How pretty is that?
That looks very pretty.
It's really sparkly. So, and I just thought, how gorgeous would those be as the antenna?
Very pretty.
Very pretty indeed. You can fill them with whatever you want. And that is why, if you're jewellery making with them, like, for what they are intended for, you might be wondering why the tiger tail's in there. Because what some people do is put like seed beads or chips in, and then they thread through like bigger beads, and then fill with more sparkly stuff, and then bigger beads.
Yeah.
But the beads go on that.
Got it.
Yeah. And then they interfill. There are lots of YouTube videos and tutorials on this stuff. It's been quite a revelation for me. I've got it in 2 different colours. So we've got like the neutral opaque one, and then we've got it in black. So you get to choose whichever. If you want to go for one of each, SJ's put that on a deal.
We have.
So one of these with all of your beads, your tiger tail and your clasps as well, to make into jewellery should you wish, because this is really easy to do with your kids as well, by the way. They're priced on the internet generally around $9.99 for a kit, if a bit more. But we've put it at $6.99, and if you want to buy 2, then if you use SJ's code, which is
NM Jewellery Making, it's on the banner of the website, so you can just copy and paste it from there, and it is also in the copy of both of the product pages, so you can copy and paste it from there too. And
that will bring the cost of each of these down to $4.99, so you are making a massive saving, £2 saving on each, which £4 saving.
£4, so you're basically
across almost, And then that, if you put that code in, does that mean they can also use, can they also get their free half meter, or is it just use one code?
Unfortunately, it is only
One or the other.
One or the other.
Well, that's all right. So you can use this one, and then you can, you know, spend again and use the other code, can't you?
Yeah.
So yeah, you get to choose which ones you want. It's got a world of its own. But I'm going to show you how to use these. Should you wish to do those, I love it. I'm a bit gutted this hasn't dried a bit quicker actually, because I thought it kind of went quite nicely.
Lots
you
of
can do
bling on both
necklaces,
arms.
and also I know. I'm still loving the bling. I did love these. We've still got a couple left.
Natasha's also got the owl pendant on her necklace, which is also in a kit that we've got available in the craft corner.
All sparkled up.
Yeah.
Have we got one of those kits? And I'll just show everybody.
It'll be in the other room, yeah.
Hang on. I'm going to show you this because these came in and I just adored it. I've got a thing about owls. I'm going to go on a close-up for this. So my mum and dad they had a wooden owl. I've always really loved it. But look at the sparkly owl. And he's in part of a really big sparkly kit, because I know a lot of us, we're thinking Christmas. We are starting, and next week we do start our Christmas shows. Actually, we've got one tomorrow. Well, it's sort of Christmassy show. We've got some Christmassy fabrics on tomorrow. And we're going to show you how to use a brand new creative grid tomorrow. Come on then, let's have a look at this. So this is the sparkle. Did this go out on Friday?
It did, yeah. Some of you have already got your hands on it.
So I know that, yeah, some of you have already got hold of this. So what I wanted to do was, like I say, just expand for those of you that like a bit of other stuff to make. So, yeah, you'll know now where Emily got her sparkly hairpins from.
Yeah.
Yeah?
She did raid the stash a little bit.
But you see, what I like to do, well, you know, on Christmas presents, I like to make up a little sparkly thing, almost like a corsage to go on presents. So they look beautiful in there. We've also got, there's a couple of other sort of sparkly pins.
Different designs.
Yeah, and these are beautiful. This, I've got to show you this. So that, and I'll see if we've got any more to sell them individually. That is a ribbon slider.
Yeah.
I'm thinking napkins around your table for Christmas. Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Gorgeous, gorgeous. There is your sparkly owl. He's in there too. And then just, if you love your sparkles, whether you are adding it onto something that you've sewn, whether you are, and you get loads in here. But certainly if you are, there's another pack of those. More sparkly stuff there.
Yeah, so I think in each kit you actually get 20 pieces of that
black of these ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you think about how many pieces you get individually, and the kit is only £9.99.
There's a huge amount, because also in it, I've got to show you these ones. These are the paisley ones. I'm just going to open this. I did actually, Emily did have some of these because she was having a little sparkly time, it would be fair to say. So Emily's birthday is September, and she wants to now have like a sparkly birthday present, a sparkly birthday party. But look at these. These are just the most beautiful things. Look at that. It's like a paisley sparkly situation going on. And you get 10 or 15 or something like that in there. There's a whole heap in there. So yeah, to show you overhead how much sparkly stuff there is. And because I just like to decorate with sparkly things at Christmas, and I thought this way you can make your, you know, your gift tags and things super duper duper sparkly, or you can just add them in whenever. Yeah, you see, I'd be putting like poinsettias and stuff around that, making that super gorgeous.
I think everything in that kit is it's quite versatile. What you can do with it, isn't it? You can add it to paper crafting. Is that what you?
Well,
that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if you're making the velvet clutch, why not add like one of those?
Yeah.
Or make, you know,
make a pattern out of using a few of them together.
Beautiful. Yeah. You know, and you could have sort of something like that in the centre and those around the edge, or that in the centre and those. It's really, really versatile. Plus you get your big feature pieces like those in there as well. That is £9.99. If you make your own Christmas cards and you want to add a bit of sparkle, they are quite an amazing sparkly set.
Even if you want to be a little bit more sustainable this year and use brown paper for your wrapping,
That's what
and just then decorate it and make it
How
look
much would you
pretty.
spend otherwise on wrapping paper?
So I was a little bit more conscious with what wrapping paper I was buying this year, and I decided to go for recyclable wrapping paper with
because
patterns
otherwise
still
you
on
can't
it.
recycle
No.
wrapping paper, can you?
I spent an absolute fortune on probably about 4 or 5 rolls of wrapping paper, which I thought were going to last me, and they were. I realised afterwards that I'd bought really small rolls. So we ran out of wrapping paper very quickly and I had to go out and get some more, and I was just a bit like, hang on, this is literally just brown paper, but with glitter on it, because recyclable glitter, because it was that had rainbow patterns, holly, and I thought I could probably have done this myself. It might have taken me a little bit longer, but if you start now, you've got time.
And then when you give, so for me, I like to do a beautiful tag, and we've got a separate tag. Have they gone live yet as well?
The tag bundle has,
the tag bundle. So we've got tag bundles. Should we have a quick look at that as well?
Yeah, shall I go grab that?
Yeah, so we've got tag bundles as well for those of you that like to tag, or if you're starting to think about your Christmas table, they've got like little pill boxes and all sorts that you can then add that in, and then you've got all the sparkle in all the world if you are getting ready for Christmas. Whilst SJ shows you that, gets that to show you, let's have a little look at this. So this is painting with thread. This is by a local artist called Emily Ferris. So we are in Warwickshire here. She is also from Warwickshire, so that was an instant, ooh, yes. And this is basically using a long stitch. That's it, and what she does is give you a colour guide for which DMC stranded cotton thread to use. You get, look at these, aren't they beautiful? 5 different designs. She shows you how to blend the stitches, but they are very simple, straightforward stitches. They are just stunning. But look at those. They are the 5 designs. So you've got your mushrooms down there. You've got your bee with all its glory there. Your robin, your dandelion, and your sunflower. She is only, SJ, she's one of these women that you sit there and you go, what have I been doing with my life? She's 25.
Oh, wow.
25 years old. There she is.
Wow.
And she just creates these most beautiful things. Not only that, but you've got the transfers in the back. So you can iron on and you can stitch straight away.
And they're multiple use, aren't they, the transfers?
Yeah. So whether you want them with the background or without, just as a motif, it's entirely up to you. But with all of the, just look at that bee. Just stunning. Look at the detail step by step that she goes into with these as well. It is quite phenomenal.
Oh, Claire Angelina's quite clever with how she wraps up. So she says, the boys have had their presents wrapped in my fabric stash for every birthday. As soon as they open their gifts, it goes back on the shelf.
Yeah.
That's a really good idea.
But you see, I'm all for that. I'm all for that sort of simplicity. And because my mum, she'll always keep the tags that I make.
Yeah.
So each year, she'll reuse it. So that is your Paint with Thread by Emily Ferris. It's on the show today. It is absolutely stunning. It's a coffee table book if you don't even stitch.
Oh yeah, it's got a very pretty cover on it.
Very beautiful. Really, really beautiful. Or if you've got someone that loves to stitch, maybe a lovely gift. Do you know what else we've got? First time that we've listed these ever. Now, when we do Lisa things and she does leaves and stuff and we have to pull them through, this was included in one of the blocks of the Baltimore, the Oriental Baltimore. We have got a handful left over. These are 4 sets. We had them specially made in rainbow because, we like that kind of stuff. I'm just going to show you how to use them. Sounds like teaching grandmother to suck eggs, but we had so many people say mine are broken, they don't work. No. They don't open. No, you have to push them together to then pull them apart. And you want that to do that because when you put that into your leaf to then turn through, so you'll pinch the edge of your leaf, you want to then lock those off to pull through. That's the whole reason of them.
Yeah.
So they do work. There wasn't a single faulty pair at all out of all of them. And we had hundreds made.
Yeah.
So no, you're all right. We've got these listed for the first time. Some of you have had the curved ones. These are the straight ones. The first time we've ever listed these individually. We've also got on the show today, we've got this little gadgety gizmo-y thing. I'm going to show you how to use this, because that is how I'm going to make my bias binding for today's show, because it's an itty bitty one, and I looked at that and thought, thanks Lisa. So lots and lots of different techniques and things to show you today. Also on the show today we have got, if you want fat quarters of Lisa's fabrics, we have got a fat quarter bundle of H640 with a plain and a fat quarter of the Summer Palace Blossom. We've got it in the dark blue, light blue, or the green there. They are all packaged, ready to go. So if you're buying multiples, they are already pre-cut. Just be aware of that. We also have, for your delectation, now, this is the first time we've ever done this colourway, the nesting pouch. You're getting the pattern for free. Amazing. You have got a metre of zip, of grey zip. I had to source this zip especially. These are the zip pulls that you're getting, so they're a little bit different to what we normally offer you. And you are getting your 60 centimetre increment of the border stripe, so that you see, because this one, this mini pouch uses this, and then this one uses this bit, and then that one uses the big old Waratah there. So you're getting 60 centimetres of your grey, 60 centimetres of your plain. Now, it is up to you to decide whether you want your lining to be in the beautiful duck egg. So bear in mind, guys, when you're buying Lisa's fabrics, the duck egg is the perfect blue. Just the perfect blue with these. So, do you want it with the duck egg, or our other option, so these are on a cracking deal today as well. Do you want it on light pink?
Oh.
And that light pink just picks up.
We haven't done
so
that colour
prettily.
combo before, have we?
No. And I did these for Create and Craft, but in our latest colourway, and they absolutely flew. And I thought, why am I doing that when we've never even done them in grey? So again, this is exclusive to Natasha Makes. You can't get these anywhere else. Like the other things that we've got on the show, all exclusive here. And if you're using this zipper tape, please make sure that you use our little zip
Zip pull tool.
Yes, thank you, SJ. You can just fill in the gaps. Now, also, we have got a rather cracking deal on these. This is the last of our Summer Palace fabrics. These are 1/2 metre lengths. Look at these. Ooh.
Very pretty.
They're gorgeous, aren't they? So you've got your beautiful florals. You've got, I just love the wicker. And you've got it in 2 colourways, because look at it with the green in there. I mean, that is a quilt. I mean, it's not, you have to sew it, but maybe you want to add in. Now, we've done this slightly differently. This we've always done as 1/2 metre, and then we realised that actually the pattern repeat is 60 centimetres, like the Waratah in the border stripe. So we've gone gong to gong. If you want a gong, you have to buy 2 units, but you get half a gong there, half a gong there, and that is your pattern repeat in one full what have you. So if you want to use these and have that as well, then we've listed that separately.
Looks so
How
beautiful together.
Beautiful is all of that. It's just stunning. And then we've got a blue option for you. So again, this is just the blue, but I've got a different option here, because I've also got that border
with the green elements.
Yeah, with the lovely green. So this is just blue. If you just want like Delft colours, then that's fine. But if you want it with the green, then you add this in separately. And again, we're doing these as 60 centimetre increments. I told you, it's been a long day. Now with
60
this,
metres.
yeah, I know. You've got these gorgeous fans. And you've got that in the dark blue and the ivory. Now we've done quilts where we've just had these basically just sashed.
Yeah.
And they've been stunning. And so then we've also got this gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeousness. And we've got that as well, which is the cherry blossom. So then you can add that in with this, whichever colourway you want. And of course you're picking out, look, so you've got your green in there, or if you just want to go with the blue, that's going to work there, but you've also got the green. It just all ties in so, so beautifully. SJ, what ridiculous price did we put this at today? There's a big discount on this bundle.
There is a big one.
It should be like £32 for the 4.5 metres.
Oh, you did.
But I think Gemma, you see, this is it. Gemma was allowed to go rogue while I wasn't here.
Gemma knows all the discounts.
It's something like 20 something.
So we put them up for $24.99.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah.
So make the most of that, because when they're gone, they're gone. I don't think that Lisa's even
big old saving on them.
She's not reprinting all those colours. Some of them, yes, but not all of them. Right, so the last thing to show you before we get sewing this morning is, so this was the gift tag bundle.
Yes. A very full box.
It's a very full box, isn't it? Now, you have got, was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
I think there's
7,
20 sheets.
It is 20 sheets,
yeah,
isn't
20
it?
sheets with 4 on each.
6 on each.
6 on each, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, oh my goodness, so 120 bell motifs.
Yeah.
Now, do you know what I thought about these? Because they're just transfers. So they're all ready to go. They're all sticky, ready to go. I would be putting those on the backs of my envelopes when I post them.
Oh, that's a nice idea.
Like a wax seal, but sparkly.
Mm-hmm.
But then we also put them, Emily and I spent a long time putting a lot on the gift tags. So you've got 2 packs of gift tags in there. Also, you've got all the sparkly stuff in all the world. So you can make up your own gift tags. We all played being Princess Diana.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all played at being that. But again, add in your other crafty bits. It's all good. You have got snowflakes. You have got 20. Let me just show you these. So these are just get your glue on. And these can go on your, if you make your own crackers, anything like that, or if you just want to stick that onto, look, here's an embossed snowman. So you've got the same with, you've got the bells in there, they're all embossed as well, and you've got your snowflakes, you've got Christmas trees, or you can just pop some invisible thread through and just hang them as ornaments.
Yeah.
You've got all of that option. You've also got holly, 12 hollies in there. You've also got some more sparkly stuff in there. All the sparklies in all the world. Oh, and the Aurora Borealis, the AB sparkles. You can stitch those on, glue them on, do whatever you like with them. And then some of just the square ones as well that you can sew on or stick on. It's up to you. So again, a lot of sparkle here. I'm not going to lie, when Emily was in the other day, she just sat down with glue and she made tag after tag after tag. So when she does her Christmas presents, they will all have one of Emily's very own tags. And it didn't cost the earth at all for all of these. But I'm also thinking that these would look fabulous on your crackers, on your napkin holders. Or maybe you want to make your napkin holders with a bit of bling on. Who knows? It's entirely up to you. But they're just handy to have. They're nice to have. Whack a bit of pin flare glue in there as well. And you can stick them all down with that. And it comes in a great box. There we go. So let's have a look at, first of all, the antenna. Okay, so the antenna on this are either going to be made with bias binding or they're going to be made with your sparkly. Now, bias means cutting it at 45 degrees. So you can see where I have chopped my fat quarter at a 45 degree. You know what I should have done? Should have done. There are lots of different techniques in this block. I really love it. If you are just there learning different techniques, it's fabulous. If you want it for a cushion, if you want it for, you know, maybe you're not going to do the whole quilt, but you just love this one because you love butterflies and sparkly stuff, then that's all good. So then we are going to, I've got 2 sets of patterns. Oh yes, I do know I've got 2 sets of patterns. One's for me to waft, SJ, and one is for me to use. Yes. 5/8 of an inch. Right. Find your halfway, half an inch, and add an increment. That's how I have to do it. And then I still have to go back through and then count. So it's that plus that one. And away we go, is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, it's this one in between. I'm just checking it because it's kind of just coming in just behind the numbers. There we go. And you are then going to cut that strip. It's tiny, right? It's really tiny. And then just straighten out that end. Now, bias binding, we know, is going to involve folding into the middle. I mean, look, you can press this in half if you want to start off with, and then fold that edge into the middle. This is fiddly, right? And you might want to get your things like your stiletto involved so you don't burn your fingers. Okay, this is going to take a long time if we have to do this all the way along. So SJ, clearly
Blue Peter moment.
yeah, I had to find another way.
Oh.
So I'm like, I'm going to burn myself. I'm tired. I've had a complete lack of sleep for the last goodness knows how long. This could go horribly wrong for me. And also Lisa does suggest that you use a bias tape maker. So enter these little lovelies. What are they? They are all the bias tape makers in all the world that you need. And they've got, look, so if you're making two, this is the finished size. So you'll cut to double that. So the 2.5 inch finished, you cut a 5-inch strip. Okay, if that's how, if you want to make it traditionally where you fold both edges into the middle. Okay. All goes from 2.5, you get 10 sizes all the way down to 1/8 of an inch bias strips.
It's very small.
Very small. We are going to use the next size up. I know, right? And it comes on one of these. Actually, it doesn't. You have to put it on. Completely lying, SJ. And you just push that in, pull it out, and we're going to go with that one. Now, what are we going to do with this? So we are going to start it off like we just have there, and then turn it the right way up. We're going to push it through there, into there. Okay, and then if you have one of our pressing mats, then you'll be absolutely fine. Get yourself some of our magic pins, because you can press on top of them with your iron and they don't melt. Otherwise you're going to have to be a little bit careful. Okay. And what you'll then see is that as you move this,
This is so clever.
it does the job for you. So as you go, move it along. I like to give it a little steam. My bias tape is being made for me perfectly. In all the sizes, SJ. All the blinking sizes.
Wow.
Yep.
I'm very impressed with that.
Now normally, I've tried this with normal bias binding makers. Hate it, can't do it, drives me crazy. This, I was like, oh now come on. To use a small size would normally be the bane of your life. Like, you just wouldn't do it. Especially you would not demo that on air. You just wouldn't. You'd avoid it and say, oh yes, you can practice that at home. But look, perfect. Perfect bias binding.
It really is.
Isn't it? Look at that. Folded to perfection in the middle. I'm going to show you that on a close-up because I don't think you'll believe me. You know me, I won't rave about something unless I really love it. Look.
And it was so quick and easy to do as well.
I know, right? You think how long it took me just to do that starting bit, to fold that over. But look at that, you saw it. Steam as you go. Done. Perfect. And 5/8. That was 5/8 of an inch. And because it's bias, you see, you can get the curve in wherever you need it to be for your wings. So you will then slip stitch that down. So you can, and what I would do when you come to put this down is baste it in place with some sew-line glue pen, with a sew-line glue pen, and then it's already done. You just stitch it down with a slip stitch. That's clever, right? Yeah. That is clever.
No,
you've got to give me that. That is clever.
Impressed.
Now, what goes on top of one of those, if we look at the design, is one of these, which is your Suffolk puff. And you might be able to see it better. So, and then that will, you'll decide how you want that to bend and twist. And your Suffolk puff hides those raw edges. That's what that is for. Now, you can have your bias binding for that, or you can have your sparkly stuff. And again, that end would be, I sealed the edge up with some with my tape. Why not? But again, that would just sit under there like that. If you want to have, and because it's mesh, you can sparkle. You know, you can do them all around the place. Yeah. Or you could get the end of it, and you could twirl the end around if you wanted to.
Oh yeah, so you wouldn't need the.
You could, and then you could almost do that, or not have that at all,
and just keep it as the twirl.
And just keep it as the twirl, and just sew that down, because you'd have the end hidden underneath, and the mesh goes flat. You can see that mesh goes flat. You can stitch it. You can wrap your thread around it if you want to. You can use a little dab of nail varnish, little dab of glue, whatever, just to keep whatever you've bound it in place. We are needle crafters, so we can actually just sew it shut. I wrapped and then just hid my ends through a couple of times. It's clever, isn't it?
It is.
When I was planning this show, I thought, I bet that's going to be an absolute nightmare to fill. I just know it's going to go everywhere, right? Actually, it's okay. This is the thinnest one, so let's go with the most difficult one, right? The thinnest one. And you can see, if you do that, it goes a bit wider. Now, if you want to fold that end over, pin it, bind it, do whatever, wrap it, do whatever, I'm just going to actually pop a little bit of my tape on the end. And then I can decide, because I might make another bracelet out of this, SJ. And then I'll have the ends to then knot together. But you can always just cover the ends. And also, I would use washi tape because it's not tacky.
True.
So you're not going to leave lots of stickiness on the end of that. Now, do you know what? Actually, I should probably use a smaller one. Here we go. Let's use a smaller one here. There are lots of things that you can do to fill these tubes. You might have jewelry making stuff, which means you can just scoop stuff up. You might have, I found this afterwards, obviously SJ, after I'd filled mine, I found a tiny funnel that would have worked an absolute treat. Yeah? Done in seconds. But no, in good DIY fashion,
of course,
I made my own funnel, which I think we'll all agree works an absolute treat. So
there's options.
Always options. Always options. And it doesn't take much to fill. So you can then just pour them from the packet into there. Just keep hold of that lightly there.
Still Sparkly said, I think I need them, in brackets, until you said slip stitching, but you don't have to.
Slip stitch what?
When you're for the...
Oh no, you can just glue it.
You can do, yeah.
Do whatever you want. There's no pressure to do that. I have overfilled. Was that easy to do, right? You blinked and missed me fill that, didn't you?
Yeah, sorry.
Overfilled it. Yeah, no. Put that back in there. But if you do overfill, just empty some back in. That's it filled. Isn't that gorgeous? I'm going to show that on the camera. There. And if you want to do that, just going to seal that end off. I'm not great at jewellery making, so it has to be really easy for me.
I think sometimes I'm looking at this now. I have a necklace at home which I really love, and it's a bit like the bracelet that you showed at the beginning, where it's like twisted and intertwined.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I'm thinking about it now, and it's actually broken a little bit. I'm trying to fix it. Actually, you could just remake it.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. And you can put all different, you can put chips in there, you can put beads in there, you can put big beads in, and they look gorgeous. So there's all sorts of things that you can do. But if you want to twist them, get hold of the bottoms and just twist them both the same way. So I'm twisting them both to the left. And that intertwines them and keeps them together. And then you'll get enough of your mesh and just wrap your thread around it and glue it. Like, let's not get technical. Wrap and glue. Job done.
Definitely looks more complicated than that.
It does,
when you initially look at it.
It really does. Yeah, this was the one thing that I was like, oh, I hadn't managed to prep for before I left. So if I wanted to, you know, then I could sew my antenna on, and then I can make that into, and just sew it down. However you wish. However you wish, it's up to you. We're limited on these. I managed to get my hands on a few. It might be that you want to jewellery make. Like I say, they come as a jewellery kit. So they come with oodles and oodles of seed beads.
Hughes has got a good idea. She said, oh, you could add lavender in the mesh. Then if you were wearing it as a bracelet, you would get the benefit of fragrance too.
That would be gorgeous. But you get loads in there. You do get loads in there. So they are the two different ways that I would do the antenna. You get to choose whichever way you wish. Shall I show you how we're going to do the Suffolk puffs? Now I want to show you something on a close-up, because we stress about whether or not we've done it right. Now, Jane and I both made Suffolk puffs this morning. They look different, neither is wrong. This is closest to how Lisa's done hers on hers. Jane pulled hers up slightly tighter, so it creates more of a 3D effect there, you can see. Mine, like Lisa's, is pulled up and just has that hole in the middle for your Suffolk puff. So two different ways to do it, both beautiful, neither is wrong. Stop giving yourself a hard time.
And both would look lovely on the block.
Both would be gorgeous. Both would be absolutely gorgeous. And the thing is, you can actually do them those two different ways, because look, Jane's ones will go on there, and then my slightly different ones will be on the antenna, and it looks like you've done two different methods. And you haven't the same method. So here's how we do it. In here you get the template. Jane cut me a template, taken off there. If you want to transfer that, this is template plastic. If you want to transfer that onto sandpaper, that is what is recommended. You can use freezer paper as well. It's entirely up to you. You will then, with whatever colour it is that you're using, because you've got lots to choose from, pop that in the middle and then cut a circle with a generous 1/4 inch all the ways around. And then I've done a running stitch halfway between the plastic and the edge. So it's about 1/8 of an inch. All right, and that is, let me show you this up here. So there's my knot, and I've done just a straight running stitch all the ways round. Okay, and then you can see your template plastic is in the middle there, like we say, generous 1/4 of an inch, and then you are just going to pull up. I would use a polyester thread because it's stronger than cotton. And this is where, if you have got, look at that, if you've got sandpaper, great. We're going to see whether or not template plastic melts, SJ, because at this point, give it a quick press in the steam.
Has it survived?
It has, yeah. And then you just want to pull that template out. Now this is when you want to go back in, pull that up a little bit, and really go to town on that pressing, okay? So that that edge is crisp. Okay, and then what you will do is just finish that off and knot it off. Oh, I know. I clearly already have a million knots in there. There. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we are going to make another knot. I'm going to trim that and make a knot. There it is. It's just twisted through. There we go. So, if you want to double up on your thread at this point, you can, because you're going to be putting it under some pressure. But either put a knot, or it's probably best knotted. Jennifer Taylor has an amazing method where she sort of wraps it around her finger, then sort of rolls it off and it knots it. I've tried. Can't do it.
It's not as easy.
No. She's like, you know, yeah, but she always says, oh, it's really easy, just look at this. No, can't do it. Now, we are going to go up in between, so in between the outside bit and the bit that you've just folded over, and come up on that edge. Can you see? So we've come in between, so there's the bit we just pressed, and we're going to come up on that edge there. There's my knot, gone in there. And now what I'm going to do is a running stitch on that edge. SJ, is everybody all right on chat?
Yeah, I think everyone a bit like me is concentrating on what you're doing. I'm watching on my screen, so I'm getting a close-up.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, I got it. Is it all right? Can you see it all right?
Yeah.
It's difficult because when I've got my eye on this, I'm not necessarily looking at the screen to make sure that it's focused and actually able to be seen. And also doing it at a funny angle. All the fun, right? Can I throw any more excuses in there?
Joe Standage has said it's mesmerising.
Oh. And round we come. I've had a lot of fun with this block, just finding different ways to do things, having a little play and a little explore, because I know that we've done a lot of these techniques before. And so those of you that have done the Baltimore, there's nothing new here for you. These are tried and tested and glorious techniques that we use again for a reason, because they are fabulous and they work. So right up on that edge, how much further have I got around to go? So I started there. Okay, so not far more around to go. But these are the new little bits. So if you are joining us having done the parasol, then the body is made in the same way. Use your freezer paper as a template. Right, we're around to the beginning, and then you are just going to pull up. Just pull on that thread. And if you need to ease it round.
Sparkle and Lisa, what more could a woman need? Thank you, thank you.
Ah, well, it's our absolute pleasure. So you see, when Jane did hers, she kept pulling and made it really tight, like almost like a little pie. And if you want to do it that way, absolutely do. I'm going to bring this now onto this main screen because I need to actually have the floor to kind of, not the floor, you know what I mean. This is where you just want to get something in there and just sort of, you want to push that base out a little bit as you go around. Keep pulling. So if you want to do them like Lisa's, then you will just press them flat. You won't tie it, you won't pull them up quite as tight, and just give them a little press. And again, this is where having things like your all your tools, is just going to really help. Give that a little press there. These also look gorgeous as of, you know, if you're making like hair pieces, but just make sure that as you've gathered, it's kind of evenly gathered. Pull up, and as you need to, make sure that you've got it exactly how you want it. Steam is your friend. And there you have it. One tiddly tiny, quite hot now, Suffolk puff. Like so. And then what I would do, when you're happy with the placement of everything, you're happy with how far you've pulled it up, and that you've got everything nice and even. And that's all it is. It's just playing with how evenly you pull that through. I just pull that thread through and just tie it off at the back, because you're going to be sewing it down. No one's going to see the back. So I just put a couple of stitches in there, and that is your other Suffolk puff ready to go.
Lisa Reynolds has said, having made most of the first Baltimore blocks, could you add these new blocks to the first one to make one
absolutely
big quilt?
Yes, absolutely. We did say that at the start. You see, so that would be your antenna, kind of there. Yeah, they are the same size,
so it would work.
Yeah, Lisa's, and she does say that, you know, if you want to add them in, they are exactly the same size and to the same scale as well. So it will, if you want to do just one massive one and intersperse with the colour, then absolutely do. It just, yeah, it works, an absolute treat.
I guess the great thing about these two quilts is you can kind of do what you want with them, can't you? You can change the placement around of the blocks. You can
do it however
mix
you like.
The previous quilt in with this one, or
however you want to do it. These are your blocks and you do it. But Lisa is so happy for you to do that your way. Now, we have previously, okay, so that's those two techniques. Now let's have a look at the pattern itself, because this is all about symmetry. Butterfly is obviously incredibly beautiful and very symmetrical. So you only have a quarter of the block, all right? And that is, as you can see, mirrored. So what you will do when you come to trace this off, is, now you're going to needle turn all of these, okay? So there are two ways that you would do it. Personally, I would take off bit by bit each of these. So For this section here, I would do the placement lines and add a little bit on under there. These are your stitch marks here. This is where you're going to pop your Suffolk puffs. So just get familiar, look at the picture on the front and get familiar where you're going to be putting everything and how it's going to go. So you know that that's going to be your Suffolk puffs, that's going to be your stitch along there. And then these are going to be 3 different coloured fabrics, and then another colour there. You've got your placement lines for the antenna and everything there, so use those. Look back at last month's as well, because I showed you how to get these placement lines. If you don't have carbon paper or graphite paper, then please do grab yourself some of those, because we've got those on the website. Now if you are going to use this way up, then I would grab yourself a pencil, because it doesn't like pen. Freezer paper, we've just started to stock a different brand, exactly the same stuff, but it's just not in a blue box. It's got a shiny side, which is slightly plastic coated, and a dull side. The right side up, when you come to use this as a template, you will adhere that to your fabric, so you want it shiny side up to start off. And if you want to mark your mirror line, then do. And then say I'm going to do just this start here. I'm going to trace that off to there. Now, if you're making your first template, you've got a choice, right? You can either flip it, find your mirror mark, and then draw it on the other side, and that's absolutely fine. Just be aware that if you can do that, and that's why I would use like your freezer paper, because you can see through both sides. Now you can do that. There is my centre line. Or if you're going to do that, why not just fold it on that line, get your paper, scissors, and because you know that you want it exactly symmetrical, you will do it in a slightly less wasteful style. And that is then my template, and you can use this for the second one, so you know they're both going to be exactly the same. And then what I would do, so this is going to be in, I'm going to use this one for this bit. Leave enough for your seam allowance all the way on, all the way around. That plastic, by the way, will be able to go again, and then you're going to cut your seam allowance around, and you then turn that and press that like we always do, and we have done all the other blocks. So for those of you that haven't seen that ever, where have you been? But let me just show you down one side. You'd cut all the way around it, but just snip up to that point. And then, as we tend to do, oh, you know what I found, didn't you? Now you can either use a brush, or I've got one of these, and we've got these. So this is a we've got the stuff for the water erasable things, haven't we?
Yes.
This I found. If you're a paper crafter, you might have one of these. but the ones for erasing seam allowances work brilliantly. And you just pop it in your starch spray. We've got Flatter at great prices, and Flatter is all natural substances, which is lovely. Then use your tools to then press on there. I would make this, because you've got curves, I would make this normal double thickness on the freezer paper. And you do that by just cutting two and just pressing one on the other. Again, we showed you that last month, but you can see now you've got that lovely curve on there. So then you would, when you've done the whole thing, isn't that beautiful? You would ease that out, and then you can stick it on your next one to make the next body. It will do two. Look, I'll show you. I'll stick it down again here. It has enough stick, and it just stays in place long enough for you, and then you just slip stitch that down. Lisa gives you the order in which to apply all of these, by the way. They are all down there. So you've got the orders for applying those and slip stitching those on. What is the other thing to bear in mind? So the body parts, the 3D body parts. These bits here. You know when we made the leaves? It's going to be exactly the same. If you've got template plastic, use it. Absolutely. I did have, but I put it somewhere really safe.
Which is see it on this side.
I've put it somewhere really, really, really safe. Never mind. Never mind. I will use this for now. So, in your pattern, you will have templates. A, B and C. Okay. These two flat edges, that's great. C is done slightly differently. So you will make your templates, and then you will cut a strip of your beautiful green. Look at that, stunning. And you will draw these around your templates onto here, okay? And then you will stitch on the line. Shorten your stitch length and stitch on the line. Let's do it with just one of them. Make a quick template out of this. So here we go. So obviously you would be making two of these because you've got two butterflies. Okay, so I've got that now. Pin that in place. Just going to cut that strip, SJ. I'm going to take that to my machine. Now, on the others, you will see, because you'll do exactly the same for these, and you will stitch around that part of it. You won't stitch across the flat bit, and that's how you will turn that through with your forceps, all right? But for this one, this is the top one on the body. So you see, that's the first one, then that sits over the top and covers that raw edge. That C then sits over the top. That goes towards the head there, sits over the top. So we need this to appear stitched all the way around.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to stitch all the way around. Hello little trusty sewing machine, probably a 1.8 stitch. And I would start by finding your foot pedal. Where is it? There we go. You can tell I haven't stitched anything this morning, can't you? And going in at a 1.8. I'd go down the sort of the straightish side just to get your eye in. If you have a foot that is open, that would be really useful to use right now, just so that you can see a bit better. So a couple of stitches, turn. When I do this on the DX, I set the foot so that it will naturally lift every time I take my foot off the pedal. That is an option with this one. But it does everything else so well, I forgive it.
It does look pretty snazzy in this colour as well, doesn't it?
I love it. So you've just stitched on that line all the way around. I didn't leave a turning through gap. No, I did not. I do not need it, SJ.
Oh.
I know. We're all used to me, aren't we? Making mistakes and everyone having to tell me to lose a turning through gap. No, in this instance not. I'm going to trim it now. So that's my seam allowance. I'm going in with pinking shears just so that I don't have to bother to take any bulk out on those curves. It's my little cheat. Quite happy with it. Now then, I'm going to pull it apart, and on one side I'm going to make a little slit.
Oh.
Okay, towards the top. Now, if you have got forceps of any shape, size or description, grab them now. Pop it up into that edge. That's when you clip it off, okay? So that's, and then you see you just turn it through. Oh, helps if you don't actually get the rest of it caught in there. Just catch the edge and then turn it through that little hole there. And it just all turns through on itself. And once you've got that tip out, then you can revert to your pokey tools to then get the rest through. So this is, we did this sort of thing in the parasols as well. Whoops. So that's a technique that we learnt last time. So this might be the first time, because when we did the Oriental Baltimore, I'd never done any of these techniques. I had to learn with you. And when you watch back the videos, I do cringe sometimes because I make all the mistakes that you would make on your first thing, because it was my first time doing them. Lisa is very, very, very forgiving. She's entrusted me with her second one. But we're learning, you know, you've got to have that space to learn.
I was just about to say that. I think it was quite nice with the first one. It was a first in applique for a lot of people.
Yeah, I felt like we all kind of really learnt together. So easing out those edges. And then you're going to give that a lovely press. And then that is your first 3D body part. But you see, you're not going to see that turning through gap. That's not going to be a thing that you see. But with the others, you would just stitch around there like we just did and not stitch across there. So then they're easy enough to turn through. And that is how you just layer everything up, stitch it down, done. That's all the technical bits of the lovely butterfly block. So there you go. That is today's block. Thank you very much, Lisa. And I also need to say a big thank you to the team for covering me last week. They are phenomenal, and I just couldn't be without them. So thank you all the team for all of your help for last week.
Gemma and Jane did a fabulous job.
Everybody did a fabulous job covering, but Gemma and Jane, absolute sterling, because of course it was the week that technology decided not to work as well. So Jane and I actually pre-recorded the Pay It Forward on Friday.
Yeah.
To then find that only 8 random minutes had actually recorded. So poor Jane had to come in on the day that she'd normally work from home, because she has a few days she works from home because it's a bit of a trek for her. She had to come in to then do it live, because it just nightmare. Just honestly, last week is best forgotten. But because we have the team that we do, they are phenomenal. So a big thank you to all the Makes team for just stepping in and meaning that I could not be here for a few days and sort my stuff out.
Yeah, and they've also fixed our problem that we did have with our pre-recording system.
Yeah, because amazing.
Which is
so it's all sorted.
Very helpful.
So we're all good to go. Yes, there you go. So guys, that is this. Does that make sense? I think so. And
John's joined us late.
Oh, morning, John. We're about to go.
He's put, oh no, I missed it all. Big hugs. But you put us on catch up.
Oh, Claire's also hoping to move. She says, I've not stopped for 5 days cleaning and decluttering. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's epic.
We know how you feel.
Yeah, I mean, moving with 2 kids is bad enough, but when you move with 6 horses, 2 cats, and everything else, halfway across the country, I don't do things like halves.
You do not.
No.
Never have.
No.
Never will.
No.
And
No.
this is proof. Once
Morning,
again.
James. / Jimmy. We're allowed to call him Jimmy, so that's fine. Did you see his quilts he made?
Yeah,
The bookshelf quilt.
Yeah.
Really gorgeous. And I love the texture that he uses in there as well. Gorgeous. Thank you for sharing that.
He has actually sent through some images as well, which we'll be getting up onto the Community Makes page.
Ah,
Yeah.
fabulous. So there we go. Tomorrow, we're using the brand new Creative Grid. Yes, Geraldine, I don't know if you're with us live right now, but if you're watching us back, Geraldine, we have got a brand new Creative Grid, which means that you do not own them all yet. So we're going to be showing you that we've got some Christmas fabrics to make them in, but it is not a make that you need to use Christmas fabrics for. We're just demonstrating. And if you want to grab all your Christmassy stuff, then we've got that.
We might have our Christmassy ribbons as well.
We might have some other gorgeous Christmassy ribbons as well.
Which everyone's oohing and ahhing over in the Natasha Makes HQ.
Yeah.
Gemma and Jane had their way. I think there's quite a few they'd be taking home with them.
I know. We've also got more ribbon sliders, because what I want to do is get your table settings looking gorgeous. So imagine your napkins with beautiful ribbons, with ribbon sliders ready for Christmas, and all sorts of table things, and the pill boxes as well. So we've got those so that you can put little Christmas favours rather than crackers. Do you remember Studio Dog Arthur? He was gun shy. He was totally scared of any bang, so we couldn't have crackers. Or maybe you've made, so if you put little Christmas treats or stuff with things that you actually want.
Yeah, we've also got the bundle to add to our craft corner tomorrow as well, don't we? The favourite boxes. So there's a lot.
There is a lot
tomorrow.
There's an awful lot, and the craft corner is phenomenal value for money. So do take a look at that. When they're gone, they're gone. Yeah, that's it. It's not a matter of restocking. It's as and when I find it, I grab it for you or put it on. Yeah. So yeah, do take a look at those, and they will keep being updated. Do take a look at the bolt ends as well in the fabric clearance. For those of you that are dressmaking, then they're great. We added jersey last week as well. So there is the bolt ends of the jerseys. Gone. Some of those have gone. When they're gone, they're gone. We are not restocking the jersey. It's beautiful, top quality jersey. So that's what we've got for you there. But when they are gone, they are gone. So yeah, that's today. That's tomorrow. And then on Wednesday, Jane is, I think she's at the Commonwealth Games, isn't she? She's watching some of those. So I'm going to give you a little sneaky peek, because it is our subscription. And this is this month's subscription. How beautiful are they? So they are the colours that if you already subscribe, you will be getting. And do you know what we're going to make? It's another Lisa Chandler one. Now, this fabric is not actually... I'm going to actually go there. No, I'm going to go there. This fabric is not actually in print anymore. But I got the next best thing. I'm going to show you what I'm going to make this quilt out of. So, like, super easy quilt, right? We know Jane is the quilter, not me. But But. SJ. Look at the fabrics with all the gold detailing in. I haven't even got them out of the packet yet. I am so excited for these. How
so lovely.
Stunning are these. We need them all in our lives. You know what else these would be fabulous with? Don't you?
Tell me.
The fan bag.
Oh, yes.
Imagine that in Lisa's fan bag.
Very pretty.
It would be a completely different look, wouldn't it, rather than
yeah.
the cave. Right, that is what we've got for you coming up this week. So do stay tuned. I will see you here tomorrow. Take care. Lots of... What was Gemma's new tagline that she used? Stay safe, and if you can't stay safe, stay crafty. Or something like that. It was along those lines. It was a bit more catchy when she did it.
I don't know how she didn't get her words tied
know.
up, but she, yeah, she's the one with all the taglines.
Yeah. Because with me, it's with my kids, it's always be good, and if you can't be good, don't get caught. There we go. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Lots of love. Bye-bye.
Bye.